Hello and welcome to another episode of Talkin' Rangers. Today is Saturday, December 6th. This is episode 77 of the Talkin' Rangers podcast. Thank you as always for joining us. Please like and subscribe here on YouTube. Appreciate your support. As always, another week of New York Rangers hockey in the books. Tough loss earlier today against the Avalanche. Gutsy effort. Overall, solid performance, 3-2 in overtime. You come away with a point. Disappointing, you couldn't get the win in 2 points and beat an Avalanche team who only lost 2 games this year in regulation. One of those was the other night against the Islanders. Unfortunately, couldn't make it 2 in a row for them. But the Rangers are continuing to play here. They've won 5 of their last 7. Have gotten points in 6 of their last 7 here. They have won the back-to-back games with the Dallas overtime winner and in Ottawa with a good performance on the road there. It feels like every other episode, it's bad and then good, bad and then good. So this is more of a positive episode. They're playing well. I think it's clear the identity of this team in terms of what they could do defensively, their limits offensively, but they continue to play hard. They continue to implement what Sullivan wants them to do. And that's where things stand. Joe, how's it going? Rangers hockey, 30 games in, 33 points. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. It's kind of like the same kind of thing from the whole season. Like, they've been very good to elite level, I think, defensively and goaltending wise. And I think they're playing a little bit better offensively, but I don't know. It's still kind of the inconsistency, I feel like, is still there. I mean, they've been playing well, then they've been playing bad. I think this stretch they've mostly been good. I mean, they had the bad game against the Lightning, but other than that, like you said, in the last 7 games, they've got points in 6 of them. So they've been better. Still a little inconsistent offensively, but I think that it's just it's weird because, like, they don't seem like a team that can actually really contend. Maybe they get into the playoffs, but I am happy with the defensive play and the goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
Igor's been pretty good. Quick was great before he got banged up. Should be back tomorrow, which is good. But they're showing a little fight. I mean, a couple of games early in the season where they were kind of losing in the third period by a goal, they would kind of just, mail it in and just end up losing one by 1 goal, 1-0, minus the empty nets. But, like, it's nice to see that in 2 out of the last 3 games, they battled back, got that goal at the end with the net empty to force overtime. So you'd like to see that. It's just like it's hard because to kind of, like I said, put a good read on this team because they're not good offensively, and that's kind of like what's going to weigh them down. It's like they can't compete with the elite level teams offensively, so they're going to have to win these grindy 1, 2, 3 goal games. But it's a positive, though. I think they're getting coached up well. I think Sullivan's done a pretty good job with the team for what he has. Like I said, offensively, they really have nothing. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm still not too thrilled about Brodzinski. I know Sheary scored today, but, like, 2 AHL guys in the lineup is like, did they really have to play over, like, Hoffman and Perreault, who's playing well again down in the minors? And I think Hoffman's still he might still be in the press box, or I don't know if he went back down, but I don't know. They're in a weird spot, but I am happy with the play as of recent. So,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's funny with this Rangers team because then you look at the defense and they can defend, like you said, at an elite level. They can probably stop anybody or play well against most of some of the elite offensive talent. I mean, for the most part today, they did a good job against the Avalanche and obviously McCarr and McKinnon until the end there where McKinnon kind of turned Will Borgen around and went on the backhand against Igor and buried it. That's just a great player making a great play. But I even go back to that Dallas game. They kept Jason Robertson pretty much in check in that game. I think he only registered 1 shot, didn't have a point or a goal. They obviously held Dallas to just 2 goals. They had the 6-on-5 goal late, but going into that game, Robertson's been on a heater. I mean, he's had all 13 of his 18 goals came in November. He was on an absolute heater up near the top of the league. We're able to slow him down. Obviously a Stars team that is, near the top there in the Western Conference and in the NHL in general. So defensively, much more improved from last year, and they consistently continue to play well there. And you've gotten a little bit more offensive production from them as well. I mean, Borgen scored on Thursday against Ottawa. Gavrikov's been hot. That contract, I know you tweeted it out, but we could criticize Drury for a lot. The 7-for-7 Gavrikov contract looks like he is worth every single penny of that. Not just what he does defensively, but he's been providing a little bit too offensively, which has been nice.
You know what I'll say about that is, like, sorry to cut you off, but like, he makes every defenseman look. I mean, obviously Fox is really good, but like,
Schneider is.
I think you could plug one of us in there.
Yeah,
I think we'd look pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean Schneider had a really nice play today, I believe, on McKinnon right before overtime. He could. I was definitely very worried about how they would look without Fox, specifically the power play, which still has its criticisms, no doubt, especially with the five forwards here. But
hey, 6 forwards
didn't start very well against the Stars.
6 forwards did the job in the extra attacker.
Yeah, definitely. In these last 2 games, finally, that was one of the big things with the Rangers is their inability to score 6-on-5. They can never score the 6-on-5 goal, especially last year.
I think especially this year because they've lost like how many games by 1 goal. It's insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they struggle with that. I mean, they struggle scoring in general, but it's been nice the last 2 games to score late, especially at home for the amount of lifeless performances that this team has given the home crowd to open up the season, not just open up the season all year long. I mean, go back to last weekend, they didn't show up against the Lightning, to now in back-to-back home games give the crowd a late 6-on-5 goal to force overtime. One of the games you win it is nice for the amount of times they haven't given that to this fan base this year, but a little cardiac Rangers action. But no, yeah, I mean, Gavrikov's been good defensively. They're great. Goaltending's been excellent. I think Igor, too, just deserves a ton of credit. He's played 7 straight games, including the back-to-back last weekend against the Bruins and the Lightning, and both those games played well. And tomorrow we'll get a much-needed, well-deserved kind of day off in the second half of this back-to-back where, you assume Quick draws in against Vegas. But, look, they play hard. They get a ton of chances. They continue to generate a ton of chances. They just don't, they don't quite bury a ton of these chances. Connor Sheary's still in the top 6. Yeah, he scored today, but that's not sustainable. Brodzinski plays hard. I have more of a problem with Sheary, I would say, than Brodzinski.
Yeah.
I mean, Brodzinski was on the 4th line, right? Today, Sheary playing in the top 6 or back in the top 6 is a bigger problem.
Was he playing with Panarin and Trocheck?
Or
no, he was playing with Trocheck and Miller.
Yeah.
Panarin was playing with Zibanejad and Lav.
Yeah. Panarin's been continuing to produce. Had the goal today. Had the empty netter against Ottawa, which, 900th point of his career.
Pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I kind of, not a huge fan of him in the general sense of, being in the playoffs. But I mean, yeah, I guess we could talk about that a little. I mean, he's been a great Ranger. He's been a good player. He's probably a Hall of Famer, but he has done pretty well, I guess, offensively. But again, I kind of look at him more so in the negative lens because of, we're trying to win a Stanley Cup and he could never really get us over the hump and play well in the playoffs. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if you just take a look at his like product and his body of work, I mean, he's going to score 1,000 points and he's probably going to score 500 points with the Rangers. I don't know if he's around that now. Maybe I'm not 100% sure. Yes, with the Rangers, I'll look it up. But yeah, I mean, he's been great. But at the same time, he's already over 500. He's way over. He's going to be like 600. Yeah, he's got 580 right now, which is probably pretty high up there in Rangers.
I believe one of the Cadillac trivia questions was the fastest Rangers to might have been over 580 points.
Yeah,
like it was Panarin, Messier, and I believe Leach. I think might have been the 3 answers.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, it's just been good to see, in my opinion, him playing better after
Yeah, he was
such
pretty
a
like,
bad,
yeah, I agree. He's
such a
so
bad
bad.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he's scoring and when he's playing well, it's this team's better, specifically in the regular season. The postseason's a whole different story. Will they even get to the playoffs this year? Who knows? Um, but it's nice to see him have,
You
after
get
what was an
it would
awful
be
month of
funny if you see kind of like an Aaron Judge performance where the Yankees get eliminated
Yeah,
or the Rangers get eliminated early, but Panarin like dominates the series and they lose.
yeah, dominates as
That,
like
that that's what's gonna happen. It's that 100. The Rangers are gonna get in, and they're gonna lose in 7 games or 6 games, and he's gonna have like 10 points in the series.
yeah, yeah. I could see that. The little Aaron Judge, huge postseason, has his moment against the Blue Jays, and then they still lose the series as opposed to disappearing while they go to the World Series a year prior. Maybe that's what we're in for with Panarin. Hopefully, we're not in for a first round exit if they do make the playoffs. So though,
You never know.
probably most of this fan base expectation, but this is a very it's a very interesting Rangers team to watch because you have moments like today or Dallas where they're good games, they're playing well, they're getting a ton of chances. A lot of those games earlier in the year. Then you have the 2 6-on-5 goals. You have these comebacks. And then there's games like the Lightning where they don't show up. And there's, that 4-game stretch, that the road trip they had out west where they lose all 3 games and they look terrible in those 3 games and they're just boring. It's just consistency wise, they're still not there from the offensive standpoint. And we kind of talked about that. That's probably just going to be the way the team is. There's going to be, these good stretches where they had 6 goals against Boston. They haven't even really had many stretches like that. They're not even really on a stretch like that now. I guess more so that they've just, against 2 top teams in Dallas and Colorado, they could have easily in those games kind of just gotten knocked around and they didn't, which was good, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, it's a weird time in the NHL too, not just for the Rangers. Like I keep saying, like, we don't really know what they are. Like, they're not really young. They're oldish, but they don't really have a team that can win, but they don't really have a team that's going to be super bad because they've been great defensively and goaltending. But like, it's insane. When you look at like the standings, it's insane, dude. Like you look at like the Metro, like every team's like within a point. Like the last place team in the East is closer to like they're like a point or two out of like probably like a playoff. It's like the NHL standings this year, especially in the Eastern Conference, is absurd. Yeah. It's absurd.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. And the worst team in the Metro is the Blue Jackets, who have 31 points, 2 points behind the Rangers.
They would be right now third place, the Blue Jackets in the Atlantic. And if they win this game, yes. They're playing like some crazy game right now with the Panthers. If they win that game, they would have the second best record or second most points in the Atlantic, which is insane. Yeah. And then they'll be, if they win, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in the Metropolitan Division with 33 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the only other 2 would be Washington, 37, and Carolina's got 34 ahead of them.
Yeah.
And just the wild card is crazy because the Penguins are the final in the Metro right now at 33. And then you have the other 4 33-point teams with the Flyers and Islanders occupying the 2 wildcard spots, and then the Devils and the Rangers on the outside looking in. So, yeah, it's the Eastern Conference is crazy. Definitely a lot more separation when you look at like the Western Conference, especially obviously the Avalanche and the Stars, who have completely separated themselves, not really amongst just the West, just the rest of the league.
3 points against the Avalanche Stars. Last 3 or 2 of the last 3 games. Pretty good for us.
That is good.
So maybe the Rangers win tomorrow.
Like we said, they've gone points in 6 of their last 7 here. The only one not being the Tampa game, which was bad. But
yeah, I mean,
still and that's, I think after that Tampa game, very worried about going into the week with the Stars, Senators, Avalanche, Vegas. And there was a real chance that after that Lightning game, a lot of Rangers fans were probably thinking, man, they might have a 1-3 week here. And
if we go 3-0-1, that's a great week.
Yeah, definitely. Now I will say they have been awful in the second half of back-to-backs.
Yeah.
They're 0-4 this year in the second half of back-to-backs, which is crazy that tomorrow will already be their 5th back-to-back of the season, and we're only in tomorrow's December 7th.
It's crazy.
So they have played a lot of games. Obviously, the NHL trying to condense the games for the Olympics, which they had don't get the ice rink size correct.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's a joke. It's a complete joke. But that's a different story for another day. They're good opportunity tomorrow against Vegas is kind of where I was getting at. Try and win in the second half of a back-to-back for once. But they haven't done that enough.
Vegas has been pretty decent. I mean, I know they beat the Devils last night, so they're one of the best teams in the league. I think they're second place in the Pacific Division. So we'll see what happens, but I think it's going to be something that they're going to have to beat. We're going to have to start beating Eastern Conference teams, though. We can't. There's a good chance that we go into the
especially at home
New Year and have 0 Eastern Conference wins at home, which is insane.
Yeah, their only chance will be Philly and Montreal.
Yeah,
only 2 more Eastern Conference home games.
They don't play well against Montreal, and Philly's been playing well, so
yeah. And Montreal's probably a loss because they're wearing the Centennials.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh fuck.
So.
Oh yeah, I mean, what are they? 0-4 in those? 0-3, 0-4, maybe 0-4.
Now I got a question.
Yeah.
Why in the world are they wearing the Centennial jerseys against Buffalo twice? Now I get the one game.
Isn't it like a date thing or something? You know what I mean? It's like
what they should
do is they should wear it if they didn't want to do every single game or whatever. They should do it against every game against the original 6. They should do it.
Yeah, they should just do it every home game. For the 90th year, they wore the Heritage Classics every home game. It for every home game.
I think every other team is doing that.
Yeah. I mean, heck, the Red Wings wore theirs against us on the road.
That was sick. I thought that was really
cool. Awesome. I wish the Rangers should have did that when they played them on the road a couple days earlier.
No, the Rangers would never do that.
They wouldn't do it. They've worn the road blues occasionally, but not the Centennials, obviously. Either way, though.
Yeah.
Now, the one Sabres game is because it's the last home game. So for, they do the sweaters off their backs, the last home game, all that stuff. I can understand that for the final regular season home game.
Is that's not a Centennial game, though, you said, right?
No, it is. It's the final Centennial.
Oh, it is?
Game.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess that's cool then, yeah.
But then January 8th, they wear them
randomly against the Sabres
again.
That's
why?
So
why the Sabres? I can understand the Canadians.
It must be like a date. Did they wear them against the Blackhawks?
I don't. They might. They probably will. I mean, they wore them against. Yeah, probably because the Canadians obviously original 6. They wore them against the Red Wings original 6. Maple Leafs haven't come to the Garden yet. Don't know if that's a game.
Yeah.
Bruins haven't come to the Garden, and Blackhawks haven't come to the Garden, so maybe they will. I think after this, though, they only have 5 more Centennial games left. I think
they're trying to the marketing team or whatever. They're so stupid. They're trying to make a big deal about come to the game when they wear these jerseys, limited time. It's dude, I don't think anyone is. So, if you're going to a Rangers game because they're wearing those jerseys, that's insane.
Okay, so Canadians, Sabres, Bruins, Hurricanes, Maple Leafs, then the Sabres fan appreciation night. Okay, so they get 2 original 6s. The Hurricanes totally understand.
Kind of like a rival. If you want to call it,
it's a Met. Yeah.
Not against the Devils and the Islanders. No, they were the one against the Islanders. Right?
No, they did wear the. Yeah, that was the 5-0.
Not against the Devils though.
No, they don't wear them against the Devils, and they don't wear them against the Flyers either, but they do wear them against Boston.
Yeah.
And they wear them against the Sabres twice. They should have replaced the Sabres game with the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I don't know why I assume it's a date thing.
Yeah, when did they play the Blackhawks? Friday, March 27th. So that's late. I don't know. Either way, it's not that big of a deal, but I don't know how we got onto that tangent. But either way, that is something that I noticed in terms of talking. Well, we were talking about Eastern Conference teams playing them at home. Because if the Rangers don't beat the Flyers or the Canadiens, their next opportunity to beat an Eastern Conference team at home will be the Buffalo Sabres in the new year.
They're gonna win. Well, they're gonna win one of those games. They got to win one of the Canadian or
Oh,
Flyers
and they
games.
got
There's
the
no way.
Sabres at home. You kidding me? If you can't beat Buffalo,
No,
you
I'm saying that like they're gonna win one of the games
the
at home
Flyers or
against
the
in
Canadiens.
in
Yeah,
the 2025 of
I
the
think they'll beat the
25
Canadiens.
26 season. They gotta win a game in the year of 25 in the season at home. Like
I think they'll beat
how
the
many goals have
Canadiens
they scored at home?
because
I think I tweeted out. I think they've scored like 2 goals against Eastern Conference teams.
something like that probably. Yeah, it hasn't been good, but I think they can beat the Canadiens or will beat the Canadiens because they only have one game this week, and that's the Blackhawks. So they'll have, 2 days off between that game.
Got some good
4 of their
rest.
next 5 days they've
Yeah.
got days off. Yeah, so they got some rest. That can be a game they can win. It's not like it's a second half of a back-to-back or 3 games in 4 days. At least the Lightning game was second half of a back-to-back. The Islanders game when they got shut out was the second half of a back-to-back. Not making excuses, and they already beat Montreal this year.
Yeah.
So, and that was early in the year when they were really struggling. Like that was during that stretch of getting shut out where they didn't score at all yet at home. Still, the last time they beat Montreal.
I think I tweeted it out. Yeah, the Rangers are. I mean, I think you tweeted this out. They're 0-4 in back-to-backs, right?
Yes, I did.
Like that means like they just in general they haven't won the second game. It's not like they won the first game and lost. Like they're just
they just haven't won the second game.
And then I tweeted right after you. They've played 6 games against Eastern Conference teams this year at home. Have 2 goals.
But if I believe correctly, or if I remember correctly, outside of today, I think they have won the front end of the back-to-back every time because they beat Boston on Friday.
They were 4-0?
Yeah, on the front end. And then they beat the Red Wings. And then they beat the Penguins.
Who did they play before
was the other
did they
one?
play a game on Saturday when they lost to the Red Wings or no? That was just a game coming back from that road trip.
The Saturday. Yeah, no, that was just a game.
So it was
because then they beat the Blue Jackets. That was that overtime, the shootout win against the Blue Jackets, and then the next day they lost to the Red Wings.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Prior to today, they were actually 4-0 in the first game of back-to-backs.
So maybe we're gonna win the second game of back-to-back.
So maybe tomorrow, we'll break the streak of 0-4 in the second.
You're a betting man.
Yeah,
Rangers money line tomorrow. Probably.
The fact of the matter is, they have yet to sweep a back-to-back, and they've had tomorrow will be their 5th one. So we'll see if that ever.
Hey, if they
happens.
take 3 points on a back-to-back, you take that 10 times out of 10. I mean, it's hard to win back-to-back games,
especially against the Avalanche and the Knights.
Yeah, like 2 of the maybe the 2 best teams in the league. I mean, obviously, record-wise, I don't think they're the top 2, but
and this extends even further back to the Dallas, like you said. Going into the week, if you told any Ranger fan you're going to go 3-1, you take that every single day. Yeah. Pick up points in every single in all of these 4 games. You take that all day. So, as much as we could joke about the back-to-back, tomorrow, even if they win tomorrow, you're still satisfied with what they've been able to do here recently. Now, their next back-to-back is the Flyers and the Predators.
When's that?
They should beat Nashville. Nashville's the second half, so beat the Flyers and you put yourself and the Nashville's on the road Warriors.
It's crazy, like those splits. Like it doesn't make any sense because like hockey, there's not really home ice event. It's not real. Like maybe in the playoffs you get juiced
other
up,
than
but like
other than the Lions, right? Yeah, like they get the last. Road team puts in first, correct? I believe.
Yeah, I mean you get a slight advantage, so like
it
would make even less sense of how good they are on the road and terrible at home. I don't get it.
Yeah,
it does. It's if the Rangers. I saw a stat. If the Rangers played 500 hockey at home, they'd be in first place in the Eastern Conference. Which is insane.
That makes sense.
I don't know what the record. What's their record at home? Like 3-7-1. Oh no, 2. They have 2 overtime losses at home.
Or 3-8-2. Yeah, because it's today.
the
So
Sharks
3-2.
and the Avs. Jeez, 3-8-2. Oh my God,
Yeah.
13 games. Is that
Yeah.
it's kind of a bad thing then? Like they have barely played, not barely played, but majority of the games have been on the road. So
Yeah.
that's not good for the Rangers then. A lot of
Well, it's a good thing that the majority of the games have been on the road and they've sucked at home. But for the rest of the season, yeah, maybe it's not a good thing. But they're starting to play better at home. I mean,
I mean, yeah,
look at the last.
I mean, the Lightning game wasn't good. What did they lose, like
The
4-2
Lightning
in
game
that
wasn't good,
game,
but 3
5-2?
of their last 4 home games they've gotten points in.
4-1
So
they lost in that game, so that wasn't great. But I mean, they played well against the Stars. They played well today against the Avalanche.
yeah,
I think
they
was it the
beat the
Blues?
Blues. They didn't play that well, but they beat them.
Yeah, the Blues are so
But
bad.
3 of their last 4 games they've gotten points at home, so it's
We take it. Yeah,
yeah.
100%. And the
And they
Lightning are
swept
good. The
the
Lightning are a
Predators
really
this year.
good team too. Like they've been playing good
Yeah.
teams. So
The only issue I had with that game was Lightning were also coming off of the back-to-back.
they played good in that
And
early in that game. And they just couldn't score.
yeah,
I feel like that's a common.
getting outshot 35-13 at home is just pathetic.
I think that this. Oh wait, no. I was thinking of another game. Yeah, that game they shot like one shot in the first period, right? But then they
Yeah, it was
tied the
awful.
game, right? Didn't they
They
tie
had
the game?
8 shots
They tied it
through the
1-1,
first
I
2
think.
periods, I believe.
Yeah, I think they tied the game at 1-1.
Yeah, they had
That was on
Miller's
Saturday of like
Saturday of
last
Thanksgiving
Saturday.
or
Yeah,
after
a
Black
week from
Friday. Yeah,
today. A week from today.
Miller had that goal. JT Miller had that goal like late in the second, and they played like well those final couple of minutes of the second period. And then I believe Nick Paul, because Gensel had the empty net. So I believe it was Paul that had the goal, or Brandon Hagel, I think,
like
scored the
2
first 2
goals.
goals.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he
2
scored the
goals.
first 2. So then Nick Paul, though, had the goal to open up the third, and that was like it. He had like that goal like 2 minutes into the third period. The Rangers actually played pretty well to close out the second period, and then they opened up the third. He scored, and it was over.
Yeah, like I said, they're playing a lot of good teams. I mean, like I said, the Eastern Conference is very tight. So like most of the teams are solid, or most of the teams suck. Most of the teams are good. I don't know, but for the most part, they play.
Does
good
this
teams.
year's team beat last year's team?
Yeah, because
I agree.
Gavrikov. So and then last year's team,
This team would
coaching.
score a ton on last year's team.
The coaching wasn't a lot better this year, and the goaltending. I think Igor and Quick are playing better than they were last year, and then you have Gavrikov. The team last year, it was just kind of a dumpster fire too. I mean,
terrible coaching.
I'll say this
terrible
too.
locker
About the team
room.
this year, I haven't really been thrilled with Miller. I know he's banged up early, but I think he's been pretty good. I've been happy with him as of late. I think he's moving better.
Yeah, he's been playing better. I agree. He has been playing better. I think he had the 3-point game against Ottawa. He had the assist today. The really nice assist to Mika against Ottawa, which was the highlight. He has been playing better. I agree. After that slow start, he's been.
I think we're also getting a little hot too. You and me, goal picks. I mean,
I know. Yes,
we didn't get one today, but
no. I had a feeling. I wasn't
today.
right. This was just Trocheck. The Avs is just a tough spot. Like you don't really trust anybody to score against.
Panarin had really good stats against Mackenzie Blackwood. We should have taken him, but you took him last game, right? Or did I?
Yeah, and then I got him in the next 2.
I took him last game. You took Cooley, I think, right? Or Mika.
Mika. Yeah. Dude, Mika's been a reliable goal pick this year.
I know, right? You remember we banned? At least I banned him last year. I'm not taking him again.
Dude, last year's goal picks got so bad. Like it literally got to the point where we were taking like Trocheck and Miller every day, or in Cooley. Kreider was banned. Mika was banned. There were so many guys that were banned.
Yeah,
it was bad. But the Rangers, when they play like they did today and against the Stars, those are the type of games that they're frustrating when they don't score, but they're fun because they're getting chances.
Seems like they always play like there's teams that like it's just over the last like 5 years they just play well. Like I feel like they always play the Stars pretty well.
Yeah, and they always score late against the Stars.
And I feel like the Avalanche games are always overtime games. Every time they play the Avalanche, I feel like the game goes to overtime.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. They lost to the Avalanche. They gave up a 6-on-5 goal, and then they lost. And then I think it was last year they gave up the goal at the end. That wasn't overtime, but it was like at the very end. The game was going to overtime. You get the power play. Look like you can win, and then McCarr scores out of like the penalty box.
Yeah, they had the late goal. That was at home. I think the road game against the Avs last year, I think, went to overtime. In the home game, that was like the 5-4 loss or whatever.
Yeah, and then this year, I think it was close for the majority of the game. and I think maybe McKinnon scored like an early goal in the third period, and we lost. I think like by 1 goal against the Avalanche. When we play them on the road in that road trip. But they always play the Avalanche games are always fun. For some reason, they like the Stars games, the Avalanche games are very entertaining. I mean, obviously a couple years ago, you had the Miller, like 23. Yeah, Miller tied the game at the end. You remember that? And they scored overtime.
Yeah, and this year's game they had the 2 empty netters, so it was technically 4-3.
What?
No, the road game this year against the Avs.
Yeah, it was a 1 goal game.
Remember, JT Miller had that power play goal this year to start that game.
Yeah,
like 2 minutes in, they scored against the Avs, and then
they haven't played many games where they haven't lost by 1 goal, excluding the empty netter. I mean, the Lightning game they lost by 2 goals in that game. They lost 4-1.
Obviously, you had the Islanders game that was bad. The 5-0.
That was a bad game. Yeah.
I mean, technically it was 4-0, but still, it was bad. And they let up a goal after the empty netter. Like, it was pathetic. They haven't gotten really. The Flames game was the worst game of the year. I think.
Oh my God, that game was.
That was even worse than Tampa. Tampa was bad.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? The worst game last year was also against the Flames at home. I don't know if you remember that game. They lost like 3-0. Igor stood on his head. It was so bad that game.
There was some. You know what was bad last year? Was that? Remember they lost the Blackhawks at home like 2-1?
Yeah, that was no. I thought they got shut out in that game.
I thought they scored. I thought it was like 2-1. Because didn't they score like?
Then they lost to the Devils like the night before. Didn't
they have like a shorthanded goal? I thought against the Blackhawks in that game, like they did all the year last year. They scored shorthanded, can never score on the power play. But there was so many bad ones last year. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Especially during that stretch. Well, December last year was awful. Oh my God.
December and November. The back end of November was just
once Drury sent actually that road trip, that Vancouver Flames Oilers road trip that they go on every single year, that trip ended them last year.
Yeah, they had the Oilers game was really bad.
Yeah, and you had the trade memo.
I think they maybe beat the Flames. I don't know if they lost every game.
The last win was the Vancouver game. They got to 12-4-1, and then it collapsed.
Yeah. They
had that bad loss against the Oilers. They lost like 6-2 or something, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then they collapsed.
Pretty sure you played bad in that game.
Yeah. And then they had I was at the Black Friday game against the Flyers. They lost. And they turned around and beat the Canadians the next day.
Barely.
It was like a bad win.
Kako scored.
And then they just kept losing.
Let's see. It says Kako or Yemlish. That name's so hard. Yemlish. Yaroslav Yemlish has been called up, and they sent down Brendan Othman. So,
okay,
that was a couple hours.
So Othman no longer in the booth.
Yeah, Othman doesn't get the.
Remember when they lost to the Sabres last year, like 8-2? That was after the Four Nations break.
They got humbled.
They lit up like 5 goals in the first period or something.
Yeah, that game was horrible. I remember I was coaching a hockey game and I was looking at my phone every like couple minutes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're getting killed.
Dude, they actually got destroyed by the Sabres last year because then the Sabres beat them at home too, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that game was terrible. That was like right during that like November funk.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, they lost. That was like 6-1. I think they lost 2 or 3 against Buffalo last year. That's pathetic.
I know.
God, they were so pathetic last year. This year's team's definitely.
It's an improvement. I
will take the bipolarness in a way of this year's team where they look good one night and then don't show up the next night over.
The thing is though about this team not showing up is like we keep saying like they're losing by 1 goal. Like them not showing up.
They're not showing up is they just can't score. There's
not many games this year where we felt like this game's over. They can't. They're done. They play tight.
Exactly. There hasn't been. The only 2 games really was the Islanders and the Flames. Like those were the 2 games where you could legitimately say it's over. Especially the Flames game. That Flames game was awful. On the road against a bad Flames team, they let up the 2 goals.
Was pretty bad, right? Because this year they lost to the Flames team that hadn't won a game, right? Or like had one.
Yeah,
game.
It was.
The Sharks are actually like in a playoff spot now. And they're playing pretty good.
I don't think the Sharks
had a win either.
Yeah, and I don't think the Flames. No, I think the Flames didn't have a win at home yet.
The
It
Flames,
might
I
have
think,
been.
won the first game of the season against the Oilers and lost like
Yeah,
10 in a row, I think it was.
yeah,
The
and then they
Oilers and the
lost.
Panthers might both make the playoff or miss the playoffs this year, which is
Yeah,
insane. As
and you know
well
what's
as
crazy?
well as the Maple Leafs too.
Yeah, that that San Jose Flames game was back to back. That was not a back to back, but they played them twice in a row.
Yeah, like those are
So
the
I
two games.
remember,
Yeah,
I think in the episode we talked about how like you've got to beat San Jose and the Flames, and then they obviously lost both those games.
they did the exact opposite of what we asked them to do.
And then they turned around a couple days later and had that nice comeback win against the Oilers. They were down
Yeah,
3-1,
that was a
and
good
then
game. Yeah,
the
we
Miller
scored
overtime
Cooley.
goal.
Was that Cooley or Miller? They both
That
scored
was
overtime goals consecutively. Like one was against the Kraken, which might have been Cooley.
yeah. Yeah, Miller was in against the Oilers, and then I think the Kraken was Cooley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was during that West Coast Canada trip, which actually ended up pretty well for them because they also beat Vancouver in JT Miller's return. That was, I think, the quick shutout. Anyway, but yeah, this team is look. They're going to bring the same style of play every night. They're going to play well defensively. It's just a matter of whether or not they score. And yeah, that's what it comes down to. Any other thoughts?
I don't know. I feel like, for the most part, this team, like I said, they're pretty good understanding what this team is. They're going to be in all the games. They're going to get good goaltending. They're going to have games where, like, you scratch your head, like, wow, that was a terrible game. And they're going to have games where, like, wow, that was a good game. But at the same time, they're tight games, good or bad. They're not really blowing them out, and they're not getting blown out. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. You got to think eventually maybe the offense gets a little bit better, but at the same time, they don't really have that many great forwards on the team right now.
Yeah.
Like Miller and Zibanejad, Panarin, they're decent. I mean, yeah, they can put up points, but besides that, they really have nothing. Trocheck's good. But, I mean, Lafreniere's like a third-line player. I've kind of pretty much given him that. Like, he's a third-line player. He's not a great skater. He doesn't have a great shot. He doesn't do anything well, but
no, he's been pretty quiet these last couple of games too. There was a little bit of a stretch there where he started to play better.
Yeah.
Some of the assists, some of the nice passes he was having, guys were actually finishing. Yeah. But I think he had he had assists today, but prior to this, I think he's gone like 3 or 4 games in a row without a point.
No, yeah, I mean, I like the third line with Cooley. I like Labo a lot. I think he's really solid. And Berard, he's been decent. I mean, you kind of get what you get out of him. So I like him, but for the most part, it's kind of going to be like the same process the whole season where they're going to be the same. They're going to be in most games, and it's going to be a little frustrating because there's going to be games where they're getting outshot and the offense kind of sucks, but at the same time, they'll win some games where maybe they shouldn't win just because of how well the defense plays and the goaltending. So,
yeah, I agree. Goaltending's been great. You know what you're going to get there. You know what you're going to get defensively. Schneider's play well against Gavrikov. Play well with Gavrikov, rather.
It's a lock, yeah. Like I said, you and me go out there and play with Gavrikov.
Dude.
Jeez, this Blue Jackets Panthers game is 6-6 right now in overtime.
My beer league team could use all the defensive help they can get. So, please.
Yeah. Maybe Gavrikov plays a game for my beer league team, too.
I'll give Gavrikov 7 for 10 to come play for my beer league team.
7 for 10.
Dude, 3-0 in the third period.
You guys lost?
And we lost 5 unanswered.
It's a bad look, dude.
Same guy scored 4 goals in a row than they had the empty netter. It just can't happen. You play 30, 15-minute periods.
My last 2 minutes of the game, we were down a goal at the end, and we lost by 2 goals because of the empty netter. I scored. Actually, we were down by 2 in one of the game. We were down by 1 last game. We got a power play, and we pulled the goalie. Huh?
I got robbed.
Yeah.
One time robbed.
On the net or like cross crease? Or where were you?
No, just guy slid over and made a nice pad save on me. And then I had a second chance. He was lying. His back was on the ground. I could show you the clip.
Did you think it was in right when you got the puck? Oh, this is definitely going in.
Dude, when I got the puck, I was like, puck was sizzling, Nice feed, 2-on-1, and I missed it. And then I got the rebound, and his left arm just happens to hit the ice the same time as the rebound sliding by. freaking stops it with his left arm, and his back was on the ice. It was one of those like he didn't know where the puck is, so he just laid down.
I got a question for you. So
what?
As you and me are hockey savants, obviously. So we're down by 1 goal in our game, and we get a power play with 2 minutes left. Do you pull the goalie there to go up 6-on-4?
Wait,
we're down a
up?
goal. We were down a goal. We're down. It was like I think it was like 7-6, and we got a power play with 2 minutes left in the game. Are you pulling the goalie to make that a 6-on-4?
So you're winning.
Yeah, we're winning. Or no, we're down. We're losing. We're down by 1 goal. We're down by 1 goal, and we just got a power play at the end of the game.
How much time's left?
2 minutes left. You pull the goalie there, right?
Yeah.
To go up 6-on-4. Yeah. So I pull the goalie, and everybody on my team is bitching because we have an empty goal.
You make the decision.
I made that decision. I pulled the goalie off. I was like, we're gonna go 6-on-4. They scored an empty netter. Everyone's mad. Like, why would you pull the goalie there? We had a power play, an extra minute. I'm like, you know what? We're down by a goal. How about we go up 6-on-4? Like, that's got to be the move.
See,
just saying.
I would have done that. I would have pulled the goalie 6-on-4. Yeah.
You get an extra man on the puck.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, you have a 2-man advantage. You have a 2-man advantage.
You have two-man advantage. You take that, especially at the end of the game when you need a goal.
Your odds of scoring 6-on-4, I'd take the risk of them hitting the empty net with the higher odds of scoring,
and
as
you know what's
opposed
funny,
to
though? We did
having
that.
A goalie lower odds.
They score. They go up. I think it was like to make the game 8-6, and then we get back. We pull the goalie again, and then we score again on the 6-on-4. So we ended up. And they scored 2 empty netters, so we lost. I think 9-7. But that's a decision. That's a move that you make.
Now, do they call delay games in your men's league?
For like what?
Just a delay game.
It depends. Like, I mean,
like throwing the puck over the boards.
Oh no, they no. That's that they call that in your league.
No, they don't. I thought
that's an NHL rule.
I never knew they didn't call that in beer.
That's not USA Hockey. That's NHL.
Oh, well, I didn't know the USA Hockey rules.
Yeah, it's all USA
I'm not.
Rules.
I'm only second year in the beer league.
Still a young buck in the beer league.
Yeah, I didn't know. See, I didn't know that wasn't called. Interesting, dude. My team should have had too many men on the ice. We were skating like 6-on-5 for like a good 10 seconds, and the ref had no clue. So, but you know what? You don't complain.
Yeah.
You take it. You take the man advantage when you can. Anyway, any closing thoughts? Men's league.
Rangers. Yeah, I mean, like I said, pretty much kind of just reiterating that, this team's going to be they're going to be in until the end. You would like, obviously more offensive power by the Rangers, but, it's still, I guess, a work in progress with, how this team is going to perform offensively. But we'll see. Like I said, goaltending's been good. Defense has been good. I think, for the most part, you're getting performances out of the guys you need to. Need to score a little bit more, but it's still inconsistent. Like I said, they're still inconsistent, but it's a weird season. I'll say that, where like the expectations are very lukewarm, where you don't really know what to kind of think of this team. But at this exact moment in the season, they're playing well. So you got to give them credit for that. So,
yeah, I agree. They're playing well. They're, got a little bit more of an identity than they've had. Just keep going and, see what happens. They're, played well against some of these top teams here. So just keep rolling. Anyway, that'll do it. I assume we could probably do goal picks next episode, right? Because, right? Well, actually, no, maybe we might want to do goal picks this episode for the next 4 games, because our goal picks only go up against Chicago. So, actually, no, we could probably do goal picks next episode. Yeah, we'll do that because they don't play again. The goal picks will be good until Saturday, so we could do an episode before then. All right, that'll do it. Appreciate you all, and talk to you soon.